want this recorded, right?
You can.
Okay.
You are?
Okay. I was told, first of all, I want to thank Jason again for I'll sit down as well. I want to thank Jason, and I want to thank all of you for coming, and we've got a very special opportunity of getting to know Matisyahu a little bit. So I'm going to ask him just a few questions to start. Let me just introduce myself. I'm Zev Kahn, originally from South Africa. They call me the rugby rabbi because I played rugby in the Maccabee games. So my first question is, because I played in the Maccabee games, I love the name Matisyahu because Matisyahu was he was a Maccabee. So Matisyahu was a leader of the Jewish people. How do you see yourself as a leader, an inspirer of the modern day young Jewish generation?
Honestly, I don't think about that too much. I see myself as a regular schmuck.
Very good guy. So my son Nachman, who loves your music, he wanted me to ask you what inspired you to get into music and to make it a career, or who was your inspiration?
I just loved music growing up, and when I was a kid, I wanted to be an ice hockey player. And then when I got to high school, and I figured out I just loved music, so I didn't really have a plan. I just felt that I would go after whatever was appealing to me at the time. So I just went wherever music took me.
And how did you get your first break?
Well, the first shows I started playing were, I lived in Oregon, and there was like a Thursday night open mic night at a coffee shop. It's mostly cowboys.
Jewish cowboys?
Not quite.
Just check.
I met a friend there who played guitar, and we started playing, and they gave us our own night, and all the kids started coming, younger crowds started coming to the show. That was when I was 18, and eventually I moved back to New York, and I had a hard time trying to find musicians to play with. Everyone in New York is hustling, and it wasn't until the first gigs after I went to yeshiva where I started making, I would get paid, $200-300 for a show. Then I could actually hire musicians. That worked a lot easier for me than putting up signs saying, looking for rapper looking for band.
And Matisyahu, how did you decide to choose that as the
name?
Go with,
Well, that was my name in Hebrew school growing up. So when I started becoming religious, I changed my Hebrew name.
So a lot of the people that are here today are students that are involved with this organization called JED, which works with young professionals and college students, and they're also looking for inspiration, and they're getting a little bit more closer to their Jewish identity. Can you just tell them what inspired you, what got you to get more involved in your own Jewish identity?
I was interested in it from the time I was maybe about 16. I went to Israel and became interested in it from kind of a spiritual perspective. I started become kind of spiritual natured and thinking about God and stuff. So I started exploring. I think mainly when I was in college, when I was about 21, I was in New York, so what better place to explore? A lot of shows, books, and I started getting into them. It became interesting to me. It became relevant to me. I don't know why. I guess because in my nature I was looking for connection with God and a way to do that. So I always felt there was something something ancient about being Jewish, something beyond, and I was looking for a way to connect with that. So, and the way that I do things is more in the lifestyle. I started trying the lifestyle. There's one way to learn about something in the books, and then another way to try it out.
And what about like Shabbat? I mean, that's a big thing. I know you don't do any concerts on Shabbat. How do you work around that, and how do you maintain and your strength not to play on Shabbat?
It's not really difficult for me at this point because it's already a habit. I'm used to it. Like adjusted to it. It's nice having the time off. I like having the time off. At first, it was really hard.
Now, I want to ask you a little bit about your lyrics, as and particularly, some of the songs in your early part of your career. Can you tell us, how your Jewish identity influenced the lyrics in some of your songs? Or maybe you'll take one or two of the songs and tell us some of the lyrics and what the messages you're trying to share with some of those songs.
Well, each record kind of had its own like tilt to it. The first song that I wrote, "King Without a Crown," that was written when I was going through my change to become more religious, and I was already gone through sort of all my teenage years and all of the angst and everything, and so I was just writing about more from the perspective of just little life lessons or whatever things that made sense to me or whatever. The first record was made mainly while I was in yeshiva in Crown Heights, so it had I was studying the Tanya, and it had sort of a tilt towards Chabad, Chassidus, and then the next record, really youth, part of light was more studying. I was more studying right now than the rest of Chassidus, and this last record was more based, if I had to base it on something, it would be more about Shem Each time I just tend to find myself studying different writers or different thinkers, and that tends to influence a lot of what I write. Not all of it, but a lot of it.
So, I mean, the one song I think everybody knows about, "One Day." Can you just tell us what's the message from "One Day"? Is it a Jewish message? Is it a world message? Where does it come from?
That song was mainly written by Bruno Mars, actually. Mm-hmm. Yeah, it's a fun little fact. We wrote that song together, so that wasn't. My music's never been intended for any one type of person. Music for me has always been just a way to not just make a living, but to relate to the world. And I've never wanted to relate to just one group of people. I was always interested when people would ask me that question in certain circles, like how is it? These people or those people listen to music. Music, it's something not really bound by religion or time or race or anything like that. So it's powerful too.
This is the time of the year when we start thinking about Rosh Hashanah and the new year and renewing ourselves, but a lot of young people don't really have a connection to God, or they don't feel comfortable in the synagogue. So I guess a lot of people turn to you for a message that can be inspiring. What kind of message can you give to young people today, just about connecting to God, people who don't really have a relationship with God necessarily?
I don't think it's really something that people need to force on themselves. I mean, I always had a sort of a tendency towards that, but I don't think it's something that needs to be, that people need to have in order to have a complete life. I mean, I think some people have a nature towards, looking in that direction. Other people find whatever they're looking for in different directions. But there's a lot of modes and a lot of ways to try to, if that's what you're looking for, to expand yourself spiritually and all that. I've had a lot of growth over the last, for me, I guess would be like 10 years. Most people, I guess, are in their 20s. So I'm 32, so for 10 years that was kind of my focus, along with the music, was just to try to develop that, side of myself. So.
And now with the new year coming up, you've got a new album. Can you tell us a little bit about your new album and where your music is going forward? Or do you have any ideas where it's a new look, Matisyahu? Where's Matisyahu going from there?
I don't know. Anonymous. That's the music. This last record was a special thing for me. I think the songs really feel good. They have a good blend of, they have everything, I think, there, you know. They're fun, but they're meaningful as well.
So could I just ask in terms of, I know part of this last album was recorded in Israel. I know a lot of our students have been to Israel, some just got back, maybe others are thinking about going back. What was your impression in terms of, and not that Israel needs approval, but I'm just curious what it meant to you.
Well, for me, it's funny, like people sometimes will ask in hearing that I went to Israel to record and want to know right about the conflict, and I think Israel has like this dark cloud over it.
Right.
Which is ironic to me because it's such a place of light, and even though there's just so much contention there, it's always been that for me whenever I would go there. There's that feeling of unity there, connection there. So I think that, there's a vibe in Israel that's why American kids fall in love with it and they go there. It's like music. It's kind of like you can't really explain it. It's more of a soul thing. It was really my producer, who's not Jewish, who we wanted to go there.
Really?
And he's like kind of a hard man to lock down in the studios. He's a busy guy, so I figured we'll go to Israel and I'll get some studio time out of it. That's what we did, and his personality was perfect because he's the type of guy just very positive and very much wanting to enjoy and have a good time. And the Israelis that came in like to the studio every day, we had amazing people and good characters. You know how it's like when you're bringing people into your family, you want to show them like this cousin or that cousin. Look what we got.
How was your reception in Israel? You felt very welcome.
Yeah, Israel. I have some good friends there that are some really well-known musicians, and they were able to collect the best people, some great people.
Did you perform any there, or you just?
We do not on this past trip, but we made the video there as well. So that was fun as well. I got to live out my dream. Every video I've been able to do, the last 2 videos, something that I really wanted to do. The miracle video was to throw a hip check during a video and ice skates. And then this one was to ride a motorcycle through the desert. So, any excuse.
All right, I think we're going to allow some of the students to ask a few questions, so we don't want to keep you up too late. Where are you going from here?
Close Milwaukee.
Close Milwaukee, okay, not too bad. Okay, well, we're going to ask anyone who wants to ask any questions, but I want to just thank you personally. We've all been inspired and enjoyed coming here tonight. We want to wish you lots of hatzlacha, lots of success, and Shana Tova. Your family should be well. Can you tell us a little about your family?
I have a wife. I have a wife and 3 sons. They're awesome. I haven't seen them in a minute, but they're coming tomorrow. So they were going to be here actually. If they were here, you'd have gotten to meet them.
How old are you?
7. One's just turned 7. Baby. And I have a 5.5-year-old and a 1-year-old.
You should all be healthy and you should enjoy them. Spend time with them. All right, anybody got a question for Matisyahu? Yeah, we got one question over here.
First of all, thank you for taking the time to speak with us. It's out of your busy schedule, much appreciated. Second of all is, on behalf of the West Rogers Park community, if you're ever around for Shabbos, please let us know. I'm sure all of us would be more than happy to
I was here
host.
last winter on the coldest day of the year, I think it was. I walked with my kids to shul.
Much nicer in, this time of year. But,
well, it's pretty extreme weather here.
Just curious, do you have any favorite Shabbos nigums?
There's one that I like.
Nigun is a song, by the way, in Hebrew.
It's a Chabad song. It's called the Shabbos and Yom Tov Nigun. It's really pretty cool.
Do you think you could hum a little or sing a little of it, or?
I don't think right now I would do justice at the moment.
Fair enough.
We'll take a rain check.
We'll take a rain check, yeah.
All right, any other? Yes,
Next L'Shana Haba at West Rogers Park.